Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. Earlier this week, I asked you guys to submit the old school way through the Google form, which is something I haven't done in a long time. And I got a lot of requests to do the show like I used to do it, meaning pre-selecting some carries rather than just scrolling through and talking about them on the fly, but pre-selecting and make it a little more of a produced show. People said they missed that format, so I figured I'd bring it back. I don't know, just messing around, mixing things up. And in the last EDC Weekly video, I did a giveaway for the Camouflage Yellow Birch Outfitters Pocket Pro Organizer. The winner, I selected a comment at random, Eli Fisher, with this comment right here. I will be in touch, Eli, and I will get this pocket organizer out to you. And to keep the trend going, we have a new wallet, which I've been carrying one of these for about a week now. These came from Gil-Tek. You guys may be familiar with Gil-Tek. He made the Ruck, which is another utility knife, but he came out with this, which is the RAW, or Rapid Access Wallet. But this is still currently a Kickstarter. They're not going to be out for quite some time, but I have a selection of different ones to give away. It's going to be winner's choice. I'm doing a giveaway here on Instagram, in my Facebook group, and in the Discord server. So I've got a few of these to give away, and it's really going to be first come, first serve. So if you win, you get to choose your configuration by what's available at the time that I draw the winner. But if you want to know how to win a Rapid Access Wallet from Gil-Tek, just watch the video. I will explain it later. All right, it's time to get the show started. This is the EDC Weekly, and let's do the damn thing. As is customary now, I'm going to do a little pocket dump to get us started. I'm not doing a full pocket dump, but the knife that I've been carrying this month exclusively is the Pena X Series fixed clip fixed. I'm never going to remember the name, but it's a nice little fixed blade from Pena Knives, and it has this really nice little leather sheath with a clip on it. Makes it exceptional for EDC, and I've carried this every single day in August as my only knife. It's been really, really great, and I've decided all of August, all I'm going to carry is a fixed blade, but I wanted to mix things up, so I got this. This came in today. This is the Giant Mouse Knives GMF1. I think this is an N690, so not M390 like the Pena. It also comes in a little leather sheath. This one I don't think is going to be quite as nice for EDC. It goes on a belt. There's no clip for it, but there are aftermarket sheaths for this knife, which make it more feasible for carry for me. And then on my wrist, of course, again, is the Marathon TSAR 41mm. You guys are familiar with this watch by now. I've been wearing this watch off and on for months. I sold one, bought another one, and love this watch. I normally have it on a bracelet though, and today I do not. The bracelet, the Marathon bracelet, is one of my favorites of my whole collection. I think it's a really good bracelet, but today I have it on a Nick Mankey Designs elastic hook strap. You can customize the hardware on these, build your own, and sometimes he does runs where he has different graphics on the straps. This is a remove before flight strap. I will be doing a video on Nick Mankey Designs eventually. I think these are really, really great. They're very comfortable, make it really easy to just throw the watch on and not have to worry about it. Like with my bracelets, sometimes my wrist is expanding or contracting and the bracelet gets loose or tight depending on how hot it is outside and a lot of other factors. With an elastic strap, that's not the case, and it's very easy to adjust on the fly. So that's what I'm rocking today. All right, with all of that out of the way, let's get started. Typically when I do these more scripted style EDC Weeklies, I choose like 3 to 5 carries because I tend to talk a lot about them. In the last several, I've been very quick and included like 12 or so when they're not scripted. So I'm going to try to go more that style, but having chosen these before and looked at them and know what I'm talking about. So trying to maybe get the best of both worlds here. The first one comes from John Isaac Majors. You can find him over on Instagram at JIMajors. And the reason I chose this one, the photo is actually kind of out of focus, but the reason I chose this photo is because it's a really nice black and OD green carry. I love OD green. I love all things OD green, and pairing it with this black gear was a really, really nice touch. In the photo, we have Sungate Clubmaster sunglasses to the left. Next to that is a Magpul phone case, which inside that looks like an iPhone 10, I believe. He also has an Orient Mako 2 for the watch. The knife is a Benchmade Griptilian in OD green with a coated blade, and then the Rotring 800. And then he says wallet. There is no wallet. It's just the list. It says wallet, but there's no wallet here. And then all he has to say about this carry is the watch is absolutely fantastic for the price point. Absolutely, I've talked about that in the past. I think it was the Discord carry that I did where I spent $500 in the Discord. The watch I bought for that was the Orient. It's a great watch for the price. An in-house movement on a bracelet for around $120, $130. Really nice pairing of gear here. Love it. Thanks for sharing. The next photo comes from Shawn Armstrong, or Shawn.edc over on Instagram. And again, the reason I chose this one is just the pairing of colors and gear. I think it all goes really well together. First up in the left of the photo is the Vaer Field Watch in quartz. He also has a Dan Henry watch strap on that. That was one I talked about in a previous video. Really great watch for the price, especially if you're looking for a quartz field watch. Underneath that is a Bellroy hide and seek wallet, and then underneath that is an Atlas Creations green Topo Hank. And then on top of the wallet, you have a tactile turn bolt action short in copper and a Spyderco smock with carbonized copper shred carbon fiber scales and a copper back spacer. And then attached to that is a zero feud copper bead and an Armstrong Metalworks black micarta bead. It's a really great pairing of gear here. The copper goes with the kind of orangey leather on the watch strap and the orange tag from Rue or Atlas Creations. And then we have just pairings of green that are all kind of that hunter style green. I have to say, I'm not a carbon fiber fan, never have been, but if I were to go with a carbon fiber scale or something, there are two that I like, that I really actually truly like, and that's copper shred carbon fiber and lightning copper fiber. I had a Berg Blades Iron Wolf, which had lightning strike fiber, which is just really awesome to look at. But anyway, thank you for sharing, Shawn. Next up, we have a submission from David Nassal, or Multifunction Doctor over on Instagram. And the reason I chose this photo specifically was because there's no knife, no cutting tool whatsoever, unless there's one hidden in the key bar, which he doesn't mention. I don't think there is. There's no knife. Anyway, first up to the left of the photo is the Hitch and Timber Card Caddy XL. Inside that, he has a tactile turn bolt action short in bronze. He also has a Lynch Northwest All Access Pass 1.5, and on top of that is the Faro brass bottle opener. To the right of that, he has a key bar in titanium, as well as a Rambler made keychain, and then underneath both of those things is a Mighty Hanks Mighty Mini in gray herringbone. And then I forgot to mention, attached to the Faro is an Urban Carver's bead. And he says, my one item that helps me throughout the day is my tactile turn. I use it constantly to sign forms and important documents. I love my card caddy because it keeps everything organized in my pockets, and with it, I'm not afraid I'll lose anything. However, just beware that if you lose just the card caddy, you lose everything. So it's kind of a toss-up, I guess. It's easier to keep track of everything, but if you do lose one thing, you lose all the things. I would also be interested to see what watch is on your wrist, because as you guys know, I'm kind of into watches now, just a little bit. Cool carry, but I would have really liked to hear like an explanation of why you don't have a knife. Not that you shouldn't or should have a knife, I'm just curious as to why you don't have one, because it's good to hear those opinions from people who have different carries. That's kind of what makes this thing so cool, is that people carry different things for different reasons, and the reasoning behind that sometimes is what's so interesting, not just the gear. Next up, we have a submission from Ty Higginbotham. You can find him over on Instagram at Turkeyfoot Leatherworks, and I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. I made a video talking about Ty's wallet, the Bobcat wallet. Love it. It's one of my most carried wallets. It's just a really fantastic wallet. And I told you, if you wanted one, go talk to Ty. He's on Instagram at Turkeyfoot Leatherworks. The timing of that video was actually very poor. Ty had some personal stuff that came up literally right when I made that video, and he's been basically out of commission. He's trying to get his, I think he's moved, and he's trying to get his shop and everything back up and running. So currently, don't try to buy something from Ty. Don't, because he's not open for business right now. His books are closed, but he will be open soon. And once he is, I want you guys, if you were interested in a Bobcat wallet, go buy one. He is working on stuff. He does really great work. Life happened. We're in a global pandemic right now. Cut the guy a break. He does really great work, and he's a good dude. Cut him some slack. And once all this is over, let's blow him up. How about that? But in this photo is some of his own gear, such as the Bobcat wallet. That's the first thing we're going to talk about here. This is the Turkeyfoot Leatherworks Ghost Natural and Ghost Whiskey Bobcat wallet. That is in the top left. This is all, I think, inside his own little valet tray. He has an Armstrong Metalworks Copper Solar Blueprint coin, an Ace of Hanks custom purple and black handkerchief. He also has a Grimsmo Saga, which is the pin in the bottom there. He has a Citizen Eco Drive Excalibur dive watch, an Okluma Titanium DC1, and then the knife you see propped up in the bottom right is a DLT exclusive purple Crewwear Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Ty says, this Bobcat wallet is a test run for me to try out the Ghost Butero, however you say it, leather. I've gotten so much critique on how I say I say Buttero because that's what I've heard some people say, Buttero, and then apparently I'm saying it wrong. Whatever. We typically test new leather and designs personally for a minimum of 3 months before we start offering them as an option to customers, but other than that, it's just a simple bobcat. The coin is new, and the guy behind Armstrong Metalworks is a solid guy who makes awesome space stuff. I use the coin to fidget with primarily, and the reverse side is milled perfectly for that. For the hank, it's a custom all cotton hank using really cool purple fabric he had on hand with a simple black back. I use it predominantly for wiping sweat and drying my hands. The Saga is also new, and I don't have much else to say besides it's an awesome pin. Great weight, size, and fidget factor. It's going to be hard to get out of my pocket. And the watch is a nice, simple face dive watch that isn't too busy. I use the dive bezel constantly while cooking or just need to time something throughout the day. The Okluma DC1 is a hell of a light, and it hasn't left my pocket since I picked it up around 4 months ago, and I doubt that that will change. Lastly is, in my opinion, the best colorway Sprint PM2 ever. I'm a huge purple fan, and I call it the Gengar PM2, so there's no way I was missing out on this one. I don't know what that means, Gengar. No clue. It's probably some Star Wars thing or something that I'm not privy to because I don't follow any of that. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. The purple and the natural leather is really, really cool. And speaking of just getting a Saga, I finally got my Saga. I ordered it before I went to the beach. It was delivered. I waited to leave for the beach. It was delivered like 5 minutes after I left for the beach. So it sat in my mailbox for a week while I was out of town. I was so mad. I told Alex, I was like, please just 5 more minutes. Let us wait just a little bit more for this package to be delivered, because there was like 6 things coming that day. And she's like, nope, we gotta go. We gotta go. And drove away. I got 5 minutes down the road and I got a notification that it was delivered. I was so mad. I just wanted to turn around, but she was like, no, we're going to the beach. I'm sure you guys know that pain. Anyway, Saga. It's really, really great pin. A lot of you are gonna ask, is it worth $300? I'll tell you later. Just to troll you guys, I guess. The next carry comes from SirKnight or SirKnight_EDC over on Instagram. And I chose this photo for one reason. It has a beautiful watch, one of my personal favorite watches ever in this photo, and that is the Laurier Neptune S3 in navy white. My personal favorite, obviously, is the black gilt variant, but let's talk about the rest of the stuff and we'll come back to that. The knife above that is the Benchmade bailout in green. He also has an Olight Baton Pro in desert tan. The pin over to the right of the photo is the Everman Grafton pin, and then next to that is a Civivi Elementum in green G10. He also has to the left of the photo a Hitch and Timber proper slip, and inside that he carries the Damn EDC custom Gil-Tek Ruck V2 and a Zero Feud Titanium ZFP2 pry bar. He says, the flashlight and watch are true essentials here. I use the 2 items more than anything. Thank you for the intro to watches. I am now hooked. I'm looking for a Zen watch and help me find an Okluma. Well, I can't really help you find an Okluma, and I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Just talk to the people in the Flashlights channel in the Discord. They will help you find an Okluma very easily. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry for getting you into watches. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry I got into watches. And the Zen, wonderful watches. Some people say Sin, I say Zen. Anyway, beautiful watches. People, when I talked about the Damasco that I bought in my EDC update, everybody's like, you should have bought a Zen. Why would you get a Damasco over a Zen? Well, reason being, I like the Damasco more. It comes down to like preference. It's watches. They're subjective. If I like something more than what you like, I'm gonna buy the thing I like more, not what you tell me I should have bought, right? That's how this works. Stop telling me what I should have bought. I bought what I wanted. I did research. I knew what I wanted. I bought the watch I wanted. Regardless, Laurier Neptune. Out of all the watches I have in my collection, which a watch collection video is coming very, very soon, I promise, Laurier Neptune gets the most wrist time of anything since it came. It's just a beautiful watch, really, really great value. And yeah, I probably want another in my collection just because, you know, just to have one spare. A backup. Anyway, thank you for sharing, SirKnight. I will talk to you in the Discord server, I'm sure. And if you want to know Okluma, just talk to the people in the Flashies channel. All right, the next photo comes from Sem Koot or Sem_Koot_EDC over on Instagram. He also has a paracord account. And in the photo, we have a sling bag. The first thing you see up at the top is a Coat of Bell cross-pod sling. And attached to that is a Hero Clip Mini. And in the left of the photo are some Altoids peppermint. He has a Hanky Panky UK plain mint handkerchief, as well as one of his own paracord bracelets. And then next to that, we see the Inventory Company small brass bolt action pin, a Benchmade proper 319 with Flightanium brass scales, a Big Idea Design TPT slide, a Noctagon KR4, which is a flashlight I'm not really familiar with, and then the Secrid Mini wallet. Sim says, I'm looking for a locking folding knife, preferably something with a blade around 3 inches or smaller that doesn't look overly tactical and is around $100 to $250. My recommendation in that price range would probably be... There's so many options. If I were to make a recommendation, just because you're saying you want one other than this Benchmade proper, I would probably say pair of 3 and then just get some cool scales for it. You've got that within that $250 budget range, and you can get something that's really, really neat, like a pair of titanium scales for a pair of 3. That's, I guess, my best recommendation. Maybe that's a bad answer too. I don't know. Anyway, next up, this photo I shared over on Instagram earlier this week. This comes from Scott, or Everyday Carry Buffalo, in the server and on Instagram, and it's a doozy. First up in the center of the photo, we have the Holt Spectre 1090 Bent Starburst. He also has the Javi Garcia Great Eastern Cutlery number 15 Recover. He has a McGizmo Haiku AA in the top right of the photo. The center of the photo again is the Omega Aquaterra, and then finally in the bottom right of the photo is Das of an Amer Gundeck wallet. And then in the whiskey glass, he notes this in the photo, it is Lafroig, but it's in a Topo Knob Creek whiskey glass. And I need that glass in my life. Scott says, pretty happy with my gear selection, just looking forward to my Ridian slip joint in a few months. So that's something I'm interested in. Like, I've fallen out of carrying slip joints, period. I've not carried one in months. I only own like 2 now. I think I have a Benchmade proper and a big beaver tail, which is a Coke bottle beaver tail. It's like 8 inches long. It's a huge slip joint. I've got a few others, but none that I ever really carry. Do you guys carry slip joints, or is it just something you're not into? I never know how to carry them. I hate them flopping around in my pocket. I don't want to put a slip in there just for another knife. Like, I don't know. For me, this right here has been just the best knife, and maybe a good secondary knife. So for me, the way a secondary knife works is if I carry a folder, this is for opening boxes and any nasty cutting tasks I have, and this is the secondary knife, this is not my secondary knife now, it's my primary knife, the only knife I'm carrying, but when I have a secondary knife, it's typically used for food prep and stuff like that, stuff that is a little more sanitary, which I understand is completely the opposite of what I was talking about a few months ago, a few years ago on this channel. I was like, why would you ever use a pocket knife for food prep? Now I do, every day, every single day. Actually, let's make that the giveaway question. If you want to enter to win one of these rapid access wallets before they're officially available, before the Kickstarter even ends, tell me down below. 1, do you carry a slip joint? 2, what do you use it for? And 3, is it a secondary knife, or do you just carry a slip joint? I will choose a winner at random, and you will win a rapid access wallet of your choice, depending on what's left. All right, the next carry comes from Alec Poehls, and you can find him over on Instagram at IL_EDC. In this photo, we have a Boker Barlow Castle Berg. That is one of those really cool Bokers where they used wood from an old castle, a historic castle, for the scales on these knives. I think it's really, really neat. He also has a Big Idea Design TI Pocket Pro, a Rovivon Aurora A4X in titanium, and he keeps all of that in a Hitch and Timber Runt 2.0. In the bottom left of the photo is a Zippo in brass, as well as a Leatherman Squirt PS4. And then to the right of the photo, he has a Timex Vintage Skin Diver. That thing looks really, really cool. He has a Cairo Supply Oliver wallet, and then on top of that is his main knife of choice, the Pena Knives X Series Zulu, and then underneath everything is a Mighty Hanks Mighty Mini, also in the gray herringbone. He is looking for something. He's looking for a small brass flashlight, preferably AAA, around 100 lumens and USA made. Easy. That is so easy. Prometheus Beta QR V2, and you can put a pocket clip on it if you want, but it's also a keychain flashlight with a quick release. Just go ahead and buy yourself one of those. It's really good. And they are available in brass. He says, as a college student, I have many things to do throughout the day, and my EDC helps me along the way. The Boker Castle knife in the Hitch and Timber is new sentimental edition, as my family has deep German roots, and the knife is something I can pass down as part of where my family came from. The pen and light are used almost daily to take notes. Timex is from the 1970s and just came back from service and is one of my favorites in my collection. And the Pena Zulu is just amazing, as I fell in love with the X series after seeing your videos. The Mighty Hanks is holding me over until I can get a top of design one to match my best MEDC TPT slide. Keeping up the amazing work. Cheers. Well, there you go. Topo Hanks. I'd like to bring him back. I think we're going to. pandemic. That's my fallback excuse for everything right now. Yeah, I'm gonna bring them back. I need to reach back out to Mighty Hanks and get it going again, but yeah, they'll be back, and I think I'm gonna do them a little different this time. All right, the next carry comes from John Clausen, or Here's Johnny, over on Instagram. And again, we have another Holt Spectre. This is V3 number 394. And he also has a Laurier Neptune S3 in navy gilt. So this isn't the navy white, it's got those gilt accents. He has Apple AirPods Pro in an Andar blue leather case, a Bellroy card pocket, and then underneath that is his phone, which is an Apple XS Max and an Apple leather case. He says, I have a thing for navy blue. I wouldn't call this a themed EDC, it's just a color I love. I have a few other knives and watches, but these go together best with the rest of my blue stuff. The Spectre isn't worth the secondary prices, but at the table prices, it's unbelievably good. I'm just mad I paid secondary, still not selling it. I love it. I bought the Laurier after your last EDC update, like literally 2 minutes after you showed it. I had to have it. It matched what I wanted perfectly in a watch. Now you've gotten me into watches. Damn you. Sucker. No, it's fun. It's fun. But just don't do what I do. Be more calculated with your purchases. That Laurier Neptune, fantastic watch. You're gonna be happy with it for a very long time. Just be happy with it. Don't look at other watches. Just don't do it. Don't look at them, because if you look, you're gonna want more. And the more you want, the more you're gonna see slightly more expensive watches. You're gonna be like, oh, this one's a good $300 watch. It's solid. And then you're gonna be like, that one's $400. It's got a little bit more of what I want. And then you're just gonna creep up. And then you're gonna be looking at $4,000 watches and you're like, wow, I can't afford that. I'm speaking from experience. So yeah, just be content. Anyway, great carry. I would love to get my hands on one of these Holt Spectres, but they are impossible to get. And again, I'm not gonna pay secondary prices. It's just one of those things that the EDC community has turned into a scarcity. I mean, it's very, very difficult to buy. Anyway, thank you for sharing. Cool picture. And if you want to go follow him or any of the other people on Instagram, if they've provided an Instagram handle, I will link it all down below, as well as everything that they have in their carries, if it all fits in the description. Sometimes I have too many things in the description and I can't publish it all. But regardless, thank you all for submitting. And if you did not get featured this time, just keep trying. It's just a day ago for these submissions, and there were like 150 by the time I got around to looking, and now there are far more than that. It just, I can't cover them all. There's just so many. I have to just pick and choose some of my favorites. But if you didn't get selected this time, just keep trying. And I'm going to try to keep, I've been doing these a little more frequently. I'm going to keep trying to build it back up to being weekly, but it's just a process. I'm dealing with some adversity in this extremely hot office. But with that said, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it and found it helpful, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future. And if you want to support what I'm doing here, just hit the links down below. Everything you saw in this video will be linked, as well as some of the stuff I talked about that I'm carrying right now. It's all going to be linked down below. And if you click through and use those links, it does help support the show through affiliates. We also have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/bestdamnedc. You can support there, or you can get stuff like this over at Carry Commission or Carry.best. It's my own store. This design is not there. I'm waiting to launch new designs because the fulfillment company has been a little rocky in the pandemic. I think they're starting to come around and pick up on things, but until then, I'm not going to drop any new designs, but I do have several in the works, and I think you guys are going to like those. But with that said, be sure to follow us around the web. You can find us in most places at Damn EDC. There is a Facebook group and a Discord server. They're both going to be linked down below. And with all that said, and until next time, carry on.